So I've got two important tips on what to eat.
Ask yourself, what are you doing now to help you improve in the future?
What's up everyone, welcome back for another episode of the off season, episode 5. We're kind of thinking about things you can do in this winter time where you may be kayaking less, where you can just be making small steps towards being kind of spring ready for more kayaking and to be back at 100% as quickly as you can. The thing we're talking about this week is a controversial topic, or maybe not controversial per se, but a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions about it, and that is what to eat to be better at kayaking, also known as nutrition. I like to think about it as just like what you're eating to be better at kayaking, instead of using words like nutrition and diet, because they seem to have a lot of strong emotions attached to them. Lots of people seem to think aggressively one way or aggressively another way, that there's only one right way of eating.
This burrito is delicious, but it is filling.
And I don't believe that to be true at all. And although I do take some people would say like severe steps in one direction of what I eat to perform best, I don't necessarily think that everybody has to do that if they don't want to. It's a choice I make. I'm not trying to push what I eat on everyone else. But this week I wanted to talk about some ways you can think about your food choices to hopefully help improve your self for right now, and that's going to get you set up for improving your kayaking in the springtime. So let's think about time of year. A lot of people right now in that like January, February, March time, they're trying to do damage control on what they ate at Christmas, right? Or in those holidays, and I get it, that's one way to look at what you're doing right now, but I think it's better if you look at setting yourself up to succeed for the rest of the year by making better food choices. And it's not about, the thing about food choices, it's not really about like making huge changes, it's the accumulation of tons and tons and tons of small changes, right? So a great example is peanut butter. Like I eat peanut butter most days, love peanut butter, it's so great. There's two kinds of peanut butter that you can get in most shops. There's peanut butter which is just made with peanuts, and there's peanut butter which is made with like sugar and salt and all this other garbage that goes into it that you do not need. It's not helping you in any way. And just those small choices like that, switching from a peanut butter which is just ground up peanuts to a peanut butter which is got full of junk ingredients. If you can make lots and lots of small switches like that are not very difficult to make, over a period of time, like a bigger period of time, you're going to see a broader impact of that. And it's not necessarily that one thing is going to change it overnight, like it's a longer term view you need to take, but lots and lots of small changes are going to go into what you eat to make you perform better or feel better. And so just like that peanut butter example, something that I think about every time making a meal is, how could I make this meal healthier? And that is not a concept I thought up on my own, I wish it was. But I read this really great book called How Not to Die by Dr. Michael Greger, which I'll leave a link for in the description. It's a really interesting book about how food impacts your body, what things you can eat to help kind of promote a healthier life and having more energy, and also kind of not promote, de-promote, and how to avoid eating foods which can lead to higher risk of like stroke and diabetes and heart attack and cancer and stuff. So it was really interesting, a really interesting read. Some big words in it that I had to look up at sometimes, and there was a few parts I had to reread just because there was a lot going on. It's kind of sciencey. It was like probably right at the limit of my reading level at times, but it was a really insightful look at the things that I am eating and the things that people eat, which are good for you and bad for you, and just really the whole thing. The whole book is all these different things which people are eating now, which are causing things like heart attacks and diabetes, and it's all backed by whatever the best science says, not necessarily by any like ethical viewpoints or environmental viewpoints, but what science says is best for your body to give you the best kind of like long-term output. So I highly recommend that book as like a starting place if you're interested in what you're eating and how that can affect you and how it's going to affect you in the longer term. For the purpose of this video, I just wanted to outline a few easy things you can add into what you're eating right now that are going to add up over the course of this kind of winter off-season period to hopefully set you up better for kind of spring kayaking and being a bit more ready. So I've got 2 important tips on what to eat. Pretty simple. Thing number 1 is try and add more fruits and vegetables into every meal. If you're like at dinner time, for example, a good like goal is to try and think about having at least half of your plate as vegetables. And if you're doing that every day, that's going to help you get a lot more vitamins, a lot more minerals. And over time, like I said, that's going to add up to be a lot better for you. So if you're not doing that already, that's a good kind of goalpost thing to think about, is like half your plate vegetables. And the kind of thing number 2 that I wanted to say is my main advice, I guess, for this video, would be to kind of start reducing as much as you can highly processed foods. So how do you know if something's highly processed? That's pretty simple. If it's got an ingredients list, it's somewhat processed, right? So like fruits and vegetables don't have an ingredients list because they're not highly processed. And so as much as you can, just try and reduce as much as you can those foods which are highly processed. And over time, those 2 things added together are going to help you be healthier and have more energy, which is going to be the crucial part of being ready to kayak better, right? If, like me, you struggle to think of like new recipe ideas and get new inspiration, a really great place is right here on YouTube. There's some really great food channels on here with tons of good recipes for free that you can see. They look great. You can see all the ingredients. You can get them in your house. Then you can make them as easy as that, right? So look on YouTube for recipe ideas. Find channels that you like, that they lay it out in a way which is easy for you to go through and easy for you to kind of reproduce at home, and then go after it and just try some stuff out. A lot of people, the main barrier for them eating better is just that like they're scared about it. It's a scary thing. It feels like a big undertaking when you say, I want to eat better, but you don't really know what that means. You know, step 1 is doing that research and reading great books like How Not to Die. I cannot recommend that enough. But step 2 is just doing it. And at some point, you just have to start making these small changes. And like I said, you don't have to think about making huge, big changes at first. Just think about what can you add in to make your meal better. Where can you add some more vegetables? Where can you add some more fruit? And if you can just start with those small, what things can I add in and where can I add in some vegetables, and also now take out a little bit of that like really processed food, that's great. That's like a big step in the right direction that you can do. It's pretty simple and straightforward. If like me, you live like kind of a long way away from the grocery store, or like me, you're on kind of a tight budget because of coronavirus, work, not being able to do too much work, a really good place to look for your vegetables is in the frozen food section. You do have to be a little bit careful. You do have to always read the label and make sure that if you're buying a bag of frozen vegetables, it's just frozen vegetables and they haven't like snuck some salt in there or snuck a lot of, I don't know, oil or other junk, other stuff that you don't need that's not a fruit or a vegetable. And especially with frozen fruits, you got to watch out for added sugars. So always read the label. That's kind of the next thing I wanted to get at is, don't be afraid of the frozen foods area for your frozen vegetables and your frozen fruits, but do always read the label. Don't just kind of take it at face value, turn it over, make sure the ingredients list is just whatever it says it's going to be. So if it says it's frozen blueberries, make sure it's just frozen blueberries, not frozen blueberries with added sugar, because they'll try and trick you like that, and you got to watch out because they're out to get you. They don't want you to be healthy. So I know this hasn't been a super in-depth look at what to eat to improve your kayaking, or specifically what I eat, which I think is improving my kayaking. It certainly feels like it's improving my overall health, which has got to be probably improving my kayaking, right? Like if you're healthier and you're fitter and you're faster, you're probably going to be kayaking better. And if you're not healthier and you're not fitter and you're not faster and stronger, you're going to have a tough time. Although I can't say for 100% that changing what you eat is going to affect what you do, I can say it with pretty good certainty, right? Like it makes sense. So those are some things to think about as a basics. If you're more interested in what I eat personally to help my kayaking and help my overall health and the things I've kind of researched and I've been interested in, let me know in the comments and I'll make another video more specifically about that, going into a bit more depth. I understand that nutrition is kind of a very emotional topic for people, and they've been eating a certain way for a long time and they don't necessarily want to be wrong, or they don't want to change, right? Because change is scary and it's hard. And I get it, like I've been there. But since I've made changes to what I eat along this pathway of being more healthy, I have noticed improvements in my life significantly. And I would like to share that with more people. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in that, or if you're not. If you're not, that's cool too. Just let me know that too, and then I won't make that video. I'll move on. I'll make another video. So let me know, and I will see you next week. Peace.